Hello, everybody. My name is Sarah Ramos, and I am from Boise, Idaho. And I had it on my heart to just share this. And if you find value from it, then please share it with somebody that you think would also get value from it. So, 7 months ago, I went to a connections meeting, and it was so beautiful, so wonderful. A whole bunch of women getting together, all connecting with one another. And there was a speaker. And in my heart, I started thinking I was going to be up there and I was going to be presenting to these women because I had value to give. What happened in that moment was I started freaking out with fear, just completely taking over my body. My mind started thinking about why I wouldn't be good at it, why I'm not a public speaker, how I couldn't give these women the value that they needed. And I immediately thought in my mind, like, stop it, Sarah. You have so much value to give. And then I thought to myself, you know what? I'm going to talk about this because people come up against their resistance all the time and they let fear take over and they don't end up stepping into their greatness and really living their best life because they allow fear to take over and they just don't take those chances and get uncomfortable and see those opportunities. So I thought to myself, you know what? I'm going to speak in front of these women. And so this month I have spoken in front of hundreds of women, and it's been so fulfilling that I just thought, hey, I'm going to record this and see if anybody else can get value from it and they can share it with some others. So these are the three topics I'm going to be talking about today. So, getting unstuck, mindset, and then moving forward. You might be able to relate to all three of them, or maybe you can only really relate to one or two of them. I hope you get value from this. I am going to spend the most time on mindset because I feel like that is something that we can all grow from right now. But let's start with how to get unstuck. What I'm going to start with is I'm going to start with my story. Have you ever felt super busy, unfulfilled, and really lost in your purpose? I think it's so, so, so important that we share our story. So many times we feel weird talking about ourselves, but really what happens when we share our story with other people is they see a part of their story within our story. And what that does is it gives them hope because they can see where you were, where you've come, and the challenges that you had to go through to get from point A to point B to really start living your best life. So 4 years ago, 5 years ago, I was a seventh grade math teacher. I taught for 9 years. I was trading my time for money. I didn't have fulfillment in what I was doing. Teachers in Idaho don't make any money. So seriously, I was working my tail off. I was coaching two sports after school. I was catering weddings on Saturdays. I was waitressing on Sundays. My husband was in sales. We never got to see one another. I married my husband, who is my best friend, not to not be able to see him. It was driving me crazy that I wasn't fulfilled and I didn't have a purpose. I was just on autopilot all the time. My husband is someone who, if he doesn't have purpose in what he's doing and he doesn't have fulfillment in what he's doing, he changes his path. He finds something else. For me, I felt stuck. I had these student loans hanging over my head, and I just thought, Sarah, this is the path that you chose. You have to stick to it. After time after time after time, after my husband saying, if you're not happy, do something different, it finally stuck. And I thought to myself, okay, I'm going to take the steps to get unstuck in life because I know that I'm meant for something bigger and better than what's beyond these school walls. I know I have these gifts and talents that I'm holding within because I'm not having the ability to share at the level that I want to share at. So this is what I did to get unstuck. If you feel stuck right now, I encourage you to do this exact same thing. And I promise you that when you get on your path of your destiny, you can't help but love your life so much more. You go to sleep with this abundance of happiness and love and a full heart, and you wake up excited to pursue your day. It's a completely different life, and we get to choose the life that we live. It's just a matter of making little choices here and there to make that shift to a whole different life. So this is what I did. I made two lists. Everything on the left side of my list is things that were taking up my time that weren't bringing me joy. So this was my list in 2015. So the things that weren't bringing me joy, I was coaching after school. It was taking up so much time away from the things that I love to do. So you have to think of the power of the yes, the power of the no. When you're saying yes to things, say yes to opportunities that might take you somewhere. Say yes to things that bring you joy. Things that do not bring you joy, say no to them. I was that teacher that said yes to everything. And I promise you, you end up just being overwhelmed and unfulfilled. So say yes to the things that bring you joy, no to the things that don't bring you joy. So after school programs, taking work home, I wanted to find that balance of work and my home life. And I'll tell you right now, balance does not exist. Like we just try our best here. But I didn't want to bring work home anymore. I wanted that to find this is my work, this is my home. I'm not going to bring work home anymore because I want to spend time with my family. And finally, teaching was something that no longer brought me fulfillment. I wanted to check that off my list, as in not teach anymore and have more time to do things that brought me joy. Things that brought me joy were being with my husband. I wanted to create an at-home business. I love boating, fishing, camping, hiking, snowboarding, traveling, and self-care. I have lost time to do all of those things. And those are the things who form who I am. And I needed to have time to do those things. So I was so proud of myself in 2016. I slowly crossed things off that list on the left where I had more time for the things on the right. And summer of 2016, I had crossed everything off the left-hand side, including leaving my teaching job. And I had time for the things on the right. And when you start living in your purpose, doors start opening for you. There's so many opportunities for us out there. We just have to be open to them. Whether it's doing something like this and speaking in front of all of these women, I knew it was an opportunity and I knew it was something that I was going to bring people value and I couldn't let fear get in the way. So that opportunity, I had to stop any kind of complaining, any kind of self-doubt, and I had to just say yes, like go for it. So many things in life you need to say yes to. So many things in life you need to say no to. Don't settle for less. Like we have so many gifts, so many talents. You are meant for so much more than what you think that you're meant for. And when we start living our best life, we really uncover those gifts and talents and we start using them. And then more doors open. It is incredible. So if you are feeling stuck, I want you to make these two lists. I have a worksheet that I'll attach to this that has a little document that has a little format for the two lists. And do this. Get unstuck and start living your best life. Okay, so I love this. Like we have two lives. We have the life that we live, and then we have the life that we are capable of living. So let's not play small. Let's make a promise to ourselves that we're going to play big. We're not going to play small. We need to get on that path of our purpose where, like I said before, like when you go to sleep, you have so much gratitude. You are so happy. You're so fulfilled in your day. And you love waking up the next day and can't wait to start your day. I never had that in teaching. Like I'm so grateful that I decided to change my path in life, even though it was scary. The things that are scary are probably the things that we need to do most. The things that we come up against our resistance are the things that we need to do most. Let's move on to mindset. A lot of us can use some mindset right now, especially so this video is made in 2020 and we are in quarantine right now. We are all stuck at home, but I promise you there's a lot of good that can come out of this, even though sometimes it's really hard to find the gift. So let's talk about mindset really quick and what we're storing in our files, because fear can rob us of loving someone, of experiencing new things, and of really stepping into that greatness. So here's some examples of some storing of files that can be negative in our mind. And I don't know if you do this, but this is something that I used to do, and I had to break that habit. I had to break that and stop storing that negativity in my mind, because when my heart and my soul is full of all of these things that are making me fearful, that are negative, that are giving me self-doubt, I don't have room for the things that are positive. When you leave room for everything that's positive in your heart and in your soul, then your energy is just different. And then the way you live your life, the way you show up day to day is just different. It's just better. So some examples, case building against. My goodness, I used to do this as a teacher. And it's funny because once you start case building, you can bring a crowd of people and start case building with you. So, for example, have you ever had a coworker that you just didn't get along with, and you decided in your mind, this person doesn't like me, this person's always talking about me, this person is just not a nice person? Like, I had that in my mind. So whenever I would see this person, I would think, well, of course she's late. She doesn't ever respect my time. Oh, she's probably talking about me again. And the same thing with like school and students and frustration of being a teacher. You'd get together and you would say, this isn't working out. Oh, I'm so exhausted. And you case build. And the people around you start thinking of things that are similar in their life. And they're like, yeah, this is really stressful. This is really hard. Yeah, that person is always late. That person isn't very nice to me either. But really, there's so many good things to see, but we don't allow ourselves to see all of those good things because we're so focused on the negatives all the time. It's crazy. So stop it. Stop doing that. Also, making things up. You guys, I'm guilty. I do this. And I catch myself now and I shift my thinking, and it's made a huge impact in my life for the better. So, for an example, whenever we are driving on a road that's scary to get to my sister's house, it is this road up to McCall, and it's this windy road right next to a river. And my mind starts making things up. I start thinking, oh my gosh, if we went into the river and the door's locked, I'd have to break out the window. I need to save my dog. My husband doesn't swim very well. I have a baby now. Like, I have to get her out. And fear would just take over my body because I'm making something up that's not real, that's never happened. But the crazy thing is that our body doesn't know the difference between what's happened in the past, what's happening in the now, and what's happening in our future, which is insane. We can literally make ourselves ill, or we can make ourselves well just from our thoughts, just from what's going on in our mind. Here in Idaho, we just had an earthquake, which is crazy. And in my mind, I started making things up again. I started thinking, oh my goodness, I don't want to put my baby girl to sleep in the other room. If we have an earthquake, the whole house crumbles down. Like, what could happen? And again, fear took over my body. And I allowed it to do that because I'm making it up. So what I say in this quote right here is, if you're going to make it up, make it good, make it positive. Imagine what would happen if we filled our mind with positivity day in and day out, and we said things, whether they were real or not real, whether we're manifesting it, whether it's happened in the past, whether we're manifesting it for the future, whatever it may be, but we fill our mind with those positive thoughts. Imagine what's going to happen with our body. Have you ever booked a vacation and you're not even on vacation yet, but you feel like you're on vacation because you have this excitement going on through your body? You're thinking about sitting on the beach and having this kind of freedom and how amazing it's going to be, and your body starts feeling it. So your body doesn't know the difference between your past. If you have something negative that's happened in the past and you start thinking about it, your body thinks it's happening. Think about something positive, you start thinking it, your body thinks it's happening. Let's do that in the now. Let's think about things that are positive, and our body is just going to start releasing things that are positive instead of all of this stress, and instead of all this fear. We're going to have this positive energy coming from inside to out, and it's going to show up differently in our day. Like, we will show up as a better version of ourselves. And finally, the last thing is, stop listening to others who are stuck. I had to learn this the hard way. When I decided that I was going to move on from teaching, I was going to be an entrepreneur, I had so many people say, Sarah, it's not going to work. Sarah, have a plan B. Sarah, like, what are you going to do about your retirement? What are you going to do about your health insurance? Like, you can't do this. So many people who are not loving what they're doing in life right now, that when you start moving on, you start getting uncomfortable, you start making choices to shift your path in life, it makes them uncomfortable. Therefore, maybe they're trying to protect you. Maybe they are fearful that you're going to have success and they aren't. But what I always say to myself is, I'm not going to take advice from somebody that I wouldn't trade places with. So what are we storing in our files? So if you don't listen to Joe Dispenza, I encourage you to write that name down, look up some YouTube videos and listen to Joe Dispenza. He is phenomenal. Like what he does for mindset blows my mind. I encourage you every single day, listen to Joe Dispenza because he says what your mind believes, you will achieve. And I 100% believe that because I've been living that. Be open to those opportunities. And this little photo right here, every time you think that you want to complain, when you feel that complaint coming on, I want you to stop and I want you to remind yourself of all the things that you're grateful for instead. We have so many things to be grateful for. There's a gift in everything that's going on. So I challenge you, stop and remind yourself, what are you grateful for? Okay, so still with the mindset, there's references all around us, whether we are watching the news, whether we're listening to what other people are saying, whether we're reading things online, whether we're reading different books, whatever it is, there's references all over. We have a filter in our mind and we get to decide what we keep in our mind and what we decide to exit. I encourage you, know the facts. If you're watching the news, great, know the facts. If it's something negative that makes fear come over your body, know the facts, put it in your mind, and then go ahead and release it. Know the facts. Don't hang on to something that's going to rob you of your future. I promise you it's not worth it. Things that you hear that you absolutely love that make you feel good, filter that and keep it in your file. Keep it in your file. When somebody tells me, Sarah, you're good at that. Sarah, you inspire other people. Sarah, you encourage me to be the best version of myself. You know what? I store that in my file and it makes me feel better about myself and it makes me show up as the best version of myself each and every day. My daughter, Indy, she is watching everything I do. I'm setting an example for her and I will not show her less than the best that I have to give this world. So your belief, so whatever you believe, whatever those files are in your mind, whatever you believe, that's going to create your action. Whatever your actions are, that's going to create your results. So for example, if you believe I need to work out every single day, my belief is moving my body, working out, lifting weights is the best way to get my body in shape, the best way for me to be healthy. Guess what? Your belief is so high that your action, you are going to move your body, you are going to work out, you're going to go run that mile, you're going to get on that treadmill, you're going to do an at-home workout. No matter what situation you're in, your action will be that you will move your body and your result will be that you will be healthy. If you don't have that belief in your mind, you're not taking those actions to do those same things. You're not getting those same results. I'm not saying everyone needs to work out. My belief in working out isn't as high as it should be. Okay, my idea of working out is riding my beach cruiser, hiking, snowboarding, doing things like that in the outdoors. But some people's beliefs are different. My belief in everyone being in a state of ketosis by drinking ketones is so far through the roof because my faith and belief in what I have my hands on with ketones, changing people for the better, is so high that my action is I drink ketones daily. Everybody that I care about drinks ketones. And I tell everybody about ketones because I know it's going to change their life for the better. Hands down, 100%, that's my belief. And my results from that is I'm healthier than I've ever been in my life. I have time freedom with my family. My little keto baby is healthier than ever. My friends and family are healthier than ever because my belief is so high, it makes my actions different, which makes my results different. If I didn't have belief in ketones, then I wouldn't have an action to share ketones, then I wouldn't have the results that I have. And that goes with anything in life. Going back to the earthquake, if your belief was, hey, I need to stand in a doorway, we have an earthquake. Your action was standing in a doorway. Your result was you were safe, you were inside. If your belief was run out of your house, get in the middle of the street, that's my belief when there's an earthquake. I actually don't know the rules of earthquakes yet. So if we have another one, I need to know what to do. But if that's your belief, you ran out in the street, that was your action. Your results are now you're standing out in the street in the rain. Okay, so your belief creates your actions create your results. What if your beliefs were so positive in yourself and what you're doing that it created your actions to show up as the best version of yourself? And as a result, you inspired other people to show up as the best version of themselves. Okay, so let's work on that belief on ourselves. So what I want you to do is I want you to make an I am statement. Okay, again, if you have that worksheet, print it off. It has this already out. You're going to fill in the blanks. I, put your name in there, M-A. We're going to have 3 to 4 adjectives. This is not 7th grade English. I do not expect you to remember what an adjective is. I will go through that with you. You're going to pick out 3 different nouns. You're going to have a powerful noun that's going to go at the end, and then you're going to pick 3 to 4 verbs that are going to go in there. So this is what an adjective is. So words used to describe a noun. What I want you to do is I want you to look at this list of things, and I want you to be bold in what you choose. I want you to choose words that when you hear that word, you're like, I would feel so amazing if somebody described me like this. That's your word. Choose those words. You're going to choose 3 or 4, or if you want 8, choose 8. There are no rules in this. This is building up your I am statement to build up your belief in yourself, to change your actions, to change your results. So when I read things off and it makes you feel good, write those ones down. Those are your words. So are you kind, generous, responsible, brave, honest, hardworking, intelligent, trustworthy, optimistic, considerate, helpful, encouraging, polite, careful, ambitious? Are you reliable? Are you energetic? Are you confident? Are you compassionate? Are you witty? Are you flexible? Are you determined, organized, humorous, respectful, caring, patient? What are you? Independent, dedicated, generous, positive, whatever you are, whatever words made you feel, read through these, fill them in those blanks. Do that right now. And you can pause this if you need to. Nouns, words used to classify a group of people. So again, when you hear these words, you think to yourself, this is me, and I can't wait to step into this version of myself. Are you a teacher, an entrepreneur, a boss, an explorer, a CEO, an owner, a leader, inspirer, mother, friend, adventurer, lover, pioneer, creator, biohacker, manifester, dancer, business owner, consultant, helper, disruptor, coach, life coach, hustler, instructor, inventor, trainer, speaker, mompreneur? What are you that makes you feel good? Fill those in. Pick 3 of those and choose a powerful one to go at the very end of your I am statement. Verbs. So again, choose 3 or 4 of these, or as many as you want. Your I am statement, this is yours. Do what you want with it. Leads by example, inspires the world, overcomes challenges, gives back, changes lives, makes a difference, helps others, empowers women, inspires people to live their best life, gives hope, pays it forward, dreams big, embraces change, heals people, leads a huge organization, lives life by design, explores opportunity, manifests greatness. What makes you feel? Choose those words. This is mine, and mine changes all the time. I haven't always been a mom. I have an 11-month-old baby girl, and so it changes all the time. So I say mine with confidence. I, Sarah Ramos, am a passionate, honest, grateful, badass entrepreneur, boss, and mom who leads by example, inspires others to be the best version of themselves, changes lives, and makes a difference. I am a champion, and I prove it every single day. Just when I said that right now, my body became that. I'm excited about my day. I'm excited about who I am. So fill out your I am statement. Another person to follow, David Goggins, his book, Can't Hurt Me. You guys, this is unbelievable. When you're talking about self-development and stepping into the best version of yourself, like, make sure that you're taking time for you, listening to things that are going to make you better. I love when I heard, if someone gave you a book of your life, would it change their life for the better? I think about that each and every day. Is what I'm doing in this world making a difference? Okay, think about that every single day. So David Goggins, something that I love that he talks about in his book. We're not going to talk about religion, what you believe, what you don't believe. That's not important here. What he believes is that his biggest fear in life is not living to his fullest potential. He believes when his time on earth is finished, he's going to be handed this list of what he was designed to do. So previously, before he stepped into who he is now, I think he said he was 265 pounds, maybe it was even more, wasn't living his best life, drinking milkshakes every day, definitely not inspiring other people. His job was something to do with insects. And his fear was that when his time was done here on earth, he would be handed this list, and it would say David Goggins on the top. It would say Navy SEAL, author of a book, inspires others, does triathlons, is a motivational speaker. And he's going to look at this list and say, who is this with David Goggins on the top? That's not me. And the voice is going to say, that's who you were meant to be. It just gives me all the feels, because who we're meant to be and the life that we live sometimes are two different things. Like, we are meant for so much greatness. So what he says and what he does is, I'm not just going to do everything on that list of what I was meant to do. I'm going to add to that list, and I'm going to max out my potential and do so much in this world that when somebody has my book, they are going to say, oh my gosh, my life has changed for the better. So David Goggins, follow him on Instagram. He's amazing. If the F-bomb offends you at all, do not follow him. He gets very passionate about what he does, and he drops the F-bomb all the time. However, he is such an inspirer, and I love following him, and I love this book. Definitely recommended. Okay, closing. I want you to follow along, and I want you to do this. I want you to stand up, and I want you to close your eyes. Follow along, please. So stand up, close your eyes. To get the best out of this, get uncomfortable. I don't care where you're at watching this. If your family's watching you, who cares? Stand up, close your eyes, tune out everything else that's going on in your background right now. What I want you to do is I want you to imagine a colored circle in front of you. You choose that color, whatever color you want. I like the color black. I wear black all the time, and I love glitter. So my circle is black covered in glitter. Think of what circle is in front of you. Your eyes are closed, whatever color you want it to be. Now I want you to imagine your future self in that circle. Okay, so you're staring at your future self. That future self, you've reached those dreams. You are living your best life. You've mended all of those relationships. You love your career. You love yourself. You've practiced that I am statement over and over and over until you believed it. You got uncomfortable in so many different situations, and it's made you a better version of yourself. You're looking at the future you. This might be 6 months down the road or even 5 years. We're all on a different journey here. So you're looking at your future self. I want you to smile at your future self and just allow yourself to feel that abundance of gratitude, all of your hard work paying off, all of those uncomfortable situations leading to everything you've ever desired. I promise you, in a state of being uncomfortable is when you will grow the most. Think about what it took to get there and how proud you are that you never gave up, no matter how tough it got. You didn't complain, you stopped. You thought of things you were grateful. You lived in a state of gratitude. Eyes are still closed, you're looking at your future self. As you're allowing yourself to feel, I want you to visualize stepping into that circle and stepping into your future self. Take a moment and evaluate how you feel stepping into your greatness, stepping into that version of you that's deep down inside that you are meant to be. Allow yourself to feel it. With your eyes closed, I want you to take a step back out of the circle back to today. And I want you to imagine that you didn't take the steps to put in the work to be the best you. You didn't mend those relationships. You don't love your career. You don't love yourself. You didn't do your I am statement. You don't believe in yourself. You're allowing the negativity to overcome your day, to overcome your future. Think about how you feel. Now open your eyes. Don't let yourself talk out of living your full potential. We're all meant for more, and we have more to give. And I promise you, when you take the time to discover your gifts and talents and you start to use those in this world, your path is going to look completely different. Something that I love that Joseph McClendon III says is, life is exactly what you dare to make of it, and fortune favors the bold. Thank you so much for listening to this presentation. If you know of anyone that can get value from this, please, please, please share this. My passion in life is to inspire others to live the best version of their life. And it's all about stepping into your greatness, discovering those gifts and talents, and going after it. So if you got value, please share this. Thanks again.